Artists and designers determine size, shape, and space through 3 related drawing techniques: sighting, measuring, and mapping. Take a look at this drawing. What do you notice? You likely notice the additional lines in the drawing. These extra lines map the space using the items in the still life to establish relationships of size, shape, and space between the objects. Most artists use mapping and sighting lines in their drawings, if not in actuality, certainly perceptually. Claire, a Minneapolis College of Art and Design fine arts major, is demonstrating these techniques for us. First, she positions herself 6 to 8 feet away from the still life, arranged so that her drawing board does not interfere with her line of sight. Then, she marks her chair on the floor in order to make certain that she remains in the same position throughout the entire drawing. She has also taped her paper down along all 4 sides. Before beginning, she takes a moment to look closely at the still life, visualizing it on her paper. With preparations complete, Claire begins with a gesture drawing using vine charcoal that will wipe away easily with a chamois. Gesture drawings are done very quickly and intuitively. This initial drawing takes no more than 1 or 2 minutes. Once the gesture drawing is laid on the paper, the chamois is used to wipe out the drawing. But it has not disappeared. A light drawing is left on the paper. This is called pentimento, an Italian word meaning correction. This underdrawing will allow Claire to correct her initial impressions of the still life as she sights, measures, and maps. Claire is ready to begin sighting, measuring, and mapping. She uses her sighting tool to both sight and measure, holding it straight out from her body with elbow fully extended, keeping the sighting stick perpendicular to her body. Squinting one eye to flatten what she sees, she places the sighting stick across the width of the bottle, marking it with her thumb. Holding this measurement, she moves the stick to a vertical position, checking how many times the measurement fits into the bottle's overall height. She uses this measurement technique to constantly check the accuracy of size throughout her drawing. Once the width and height are established, she begins to map, using the sighting stick to discover the relationships between the bottles. While mapping, she uses the sighting stick in the same manner as measuring, but lays it on top of angles she sees in the still life. At this point in the drawing, she leaves all of the measurements and mapping marks visible on the paper. She is willing to make changes when she finds inaccuracies and can wipe away the vine charcoal as needed. The goal of this drawing strategy is to discover and convey accurate proportions and relationships. She generalizes shapes, not giving us detail, and working general to specific. After the entire still life is mapped, she will define the still life with compressed charcoal or charcoal pencil, exploring the details that distinguish the bottles from one another and articulating areas of intersection. This is done by simply applying more or less pressure on the drawing tool with a sensitive touch known as phasing. To resolve or finish the drawing, she mops up the surface with a kneaded eraser. The essential beauty of these drawings is that the artist shares their process, their decision-making, their problem-solving with us, the viewer. Many of the decisions remain evident on the page as pentimenti. No value or shading is added. So let's take one final look at the drawings and see what we notice. First, it's a line drawing. It has no value or shading. Second, the line investigates the structure of the space and the objects in the space. Third, the mapping investigates relationships of the objects to one another, establishing proportions and space on the page. Fourth, the line is used as an expressive tool to give a sense of weight, line, gravity, and importance to the picture plane. And finally, the surface of the drawing is active, suggesting the artist's process and decision-making. Now it's your turn to try. Make sure you give yourself focused time to do this drawing. Thank you for watching our drawing videos on sighting, measuring, and mapping.